Hello and welcome back to the workshop. I thought I'd start this video with a quick recap and an explanation of why things perhaps are a little bit out of sequence. First video of course was the cutting out of the perspex on the router. That went ahead fairly straightforwardly. Then I went on to do the columns, expecting a delivery of metal because I didn't have sufficient aluminium bar for that. When it didn't turn up when it was supposed to, it eventually did, about 6 hours late. In the meantime, I devoted my attention to tidying up the pieces of perspex, and that's what I'm going to be continuing with today. So there will be some mention of the aluminium, but as you will now appreciate, it happened 2 or 3 days ago. Hope you enjoy it. I'm still waiting for DHL to supply the rest of the metal. They're running late apparently, so in the meantime I've moved over to the mill and I've set it up to slightly enlarge the recess for the bearing. It came out slightly undersized from the 3D router, so I've centered up the spindle over the central hole and it's all set up ready to take a little bit off the side, and oh god damn, I've already done one and taken slightly too much out, so I'm going to have to use some bearing retaining Loctite on there. Hope I have better luck with this one. To 6mm depths. Just took off barely a hair's width, and that is not quite going in, so I'm not going to take a great deal more off there. I'll try that. Try and sneak up on it and surprise it. And take it as smoothly as possible. Not quite so easy because they That's enough for me. Good, right, well I think I'll leave it sticking out like that, and then that will allow me to put the other one on top, and that will locate it accurately, and then I can do the finishing part on there. I'll do that in a minute. Okay, I've got this set up in the mill vise, clamped together back to back with the bearing aligning the two mountings. A little bit of printer paper in here to prevent the vice jaws marking the perspex, and I've got a 12mm full flute end mill cutter in here. I'm just going to slowly bring the work up, the knee up, and just lightly touch up on there. I just want to take the merest hint of a cut across this face. Reasonably square. It's just the surface finish is not to my liking. There we go, that's just touching off. Zero the DRO and take it up. What should we try? 0.1 mil. And power feed on. Hope that it doesn't catch. There goes the tab. That's cleaned up nicely. No, it's still not getting it right down. There we go. Just cutting. Not quite cleaned up there, but that's good enough. Got 96, 97% of it cleaned up, and that'll do nicely. Next job is to drill the holes and tap them for the mounting. I'll do that later. I feel a cup of tea coming on. Sorry again. The two spindle mountings are still clamped in the vise, as you can see, and the bases have been lightly skimmed. And I want to put in the mounting holes, which I'm going to leave it like this. I'll find X and axis reference points, halve it, y-axis reference points, halve that, so that the centre is on, well, it's actually the join between the two. And then I'll offset it 5mm one way and 5mm the other way, 15mm in X, and drill and tap the holes like that. So first off we'll use the centering device to locate the X position. Wait for it to kick. There it goes. Just zero the X-axis on the DRO. Bring it up again just to check. Kick. And that's a maximum cut out. Arms can go. Kick. It's just a little over 60, which is right because that's 50mm that way and the centre finder is 10mm diameter. Again, just check it that way. Half of X, wind that down to 0, and we're now halfway along that axis. Do the same with Y. I apologise if you've seen this done before. God knows how many other YouTube channels, but it's just one of those things that needs to be done. It's just kicking there. Back up again just to check. Running straight. And zippity-doo-dah over to the other side. Oh, a bit aggressive there. And this should be around the 30 mark. spoolie of it. No, that was right. So, take the Y value of it. Bring it into 0. And there we have it, right in the middle in both axes. Swapped out the centre, the edge finder rather, for the spotting drill. I've moved the 0.5mm over to towards the rear of this mounting, 15mm up in the x-axis, and I'll just spot this one, move down 30 to do the other one, and then move over 10 to do the other two. Quite straightforward. What could possibly go wrong? There we go. Right, I just got to check the tapping size. I can't remember whether I specified 6mm or 5mm. I'll check those on the drawings and then swap out the spotting drill for the tap size drill. Good job I checked, because in fact it's spec'd at 6mm, so 5mm tapping drill going down, and I think I'll go in got plenty of meat there, so I'll go in 20mm, and it'll give me ample room to run a tap down. So I'm using the digital readout on the quill to measure the depth of cut, the depth of the drill I should say. Let's get rid of that muck. Down to 12, 15, 19, 20. I'll do the same for these three and then come back and do the tapping. I'm going to use the DRO settings to set up the tap, again spiral flute tap, and the actual tapping section is 20mm long, as it happens, so I will at least start off the power tapping with the mill, but I think I'll probably come back and finish off with a tap wrench, so as not to break off the tap. Not that it's likely in plastic, but knowing my luck it would probably happen. So here we go, just using the mill to get it started straight. Made a nasty click sound then. However, I'll press on. Helps if you get the tools handy. I'm not going to push my luck any further than that. Unlike metal, of course, the perspex expands as you're cutting it and acts as a brake on the tap so it won't spin out, but I quite like that for this particular arrangement. There we are, that's nearly finished. I bet you can't wait to see the other three being done. I have to disappoint you, I'm going to stop the filming there and I'll do those off camera. Back at the bench, and a new day has dawned, and this is going to be a wrap up for this particular video. Overnight the Loctite has cured in the mounting, securing the bearing, I hope. Let's have a look. Yep, that's nice and tight, and that one's nice and tight too. So they're all ready to go, drilled, tapped, and I actually went back and took another 0.1 mil off the bottom of the mountings just to give me 100% coverage. So next up I'll do off camera will be tidying up the rest of these bits. I've got to drill through the holes for the bolts. They've also come out slightly undersized, but that's just a matter of going through with a clearance drill, smooth off the bottom of this recess where the step over wasn't quite or was too aggressive, I should say, and I've ended up with concentric circles, and I've also got to drill the mounting holes here in the same manner as I drew those. I've noticed from the statistics on my videos that a significant number of viewers have been skipping through the boring parts, or repetitive should I say, parts of the videos, and I've taken note of that, as you would have seen in the earlier part of this video. However, for those that want to sit through it and fall asleep, that's fine. Right, well, I'll get on with those. You don't want to see me drilling all that lot again, and when I've finished I'll come back and maybe put the bits I've got together. Oh, one other thing is the retaining screws. I've just removed a little bit of the outside of the screw so it fits better in the recess. That's just about it for today, I think. Yeah, can't think of anything else to add, so if you have been, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.